You mentioned Bradshaw earlier, and once again, I read in your book that your first meeting with Bradshaw didn't go as pleasantly as probably some later meetings.
So you're not going to ask me that question, right?
I won't ask you, but if you feel like you have to say something about it, do carry on.
Well, I don't want to answer it. I don't want to say that he treated me like shit when he got here. I don't want to say that he took a videotape out of me promoting them at a high school to try and get a crowd. He took the videotape out and stomped it in front of the boys because he thought I was putting myself over. I was putting over Bradshaw and Simmons coming to this high school in the South End. We were trying to draw a crowd. And I went to the school and put it over. I said, hey, look what I did for the show, guys. This is what I did. Well, Bradshaw thought I was blowing myself instead of putting them over. He didn't even watch the whole video. He took it out, stomped it in the floor. 7, Mordecai, or whatever the fuck name you would remember him by, he didn't last long. And I did predict that as well. He comes back to me. He was blowing Bradshaw. He thought Bradshaw was going to be his connection to get to the WWE. He also blew, Arn Anderson, especially. Oh, my God. It was ridiculous what he was doing. And he blew all the agents, maybe not literally, but I don't know that he didn't. But he was doing everything he could to get to the WWE. And apparently he blew somebody very good because eventually he got there, even though me and Cornette did not think he was worthy or ready. I don't think Danny Davis thought so either. So he comes back to me. Now he's blowing Bradshaw because he thinks Bradshaw is his connection to get there. And if I blow Arn Anderson and Bradshaw and Laurinaitis, I'm bound to get there eventually. Well, I don't know if he blew all 3, 1 or none, but he got there. But he comes back to me and he's trying to antagonize the heat between me and Bradshaw. And he says, Kenny, you got to get in there and clean that tape up. Bradshaw says, you got to get your ass in there and clean it. And I said, well, you go back and tell Bradshaw this. I didn't break the tape and I'm not cleaning the tape. He said, he's going to come out here and beat your ass. I said, if he thinks that's worth his time and effort, yeah, he can probably beat my ass. I didn't know that announcer had knocked him out at an airport. I didn't know that. So, and I had more ass than he had. Maybe I had a shot. I don't know. I wasn't looking forward to fighting Bradshaw, and I definitely didn't want to fight Ron Simmons. And there's a lot of guys in the business at age 61 I would not back down from. I didn't want to fight either one of those two motherfuckers, but I was not cleaning up that tape because I would have been buried. I'd have been a fucking pussy for life if I'd done it. That broken tape laid in there for like 6 weeks. Nobody was touching that tape. I don't think Bradshaw and Simmons ever dreamed they were going to be in OVW for several weeks, but the tape laid there. And I was gaining respect each week. I refused to clean that broken videotape up. All the boys, you better get in there and clean that tape up. Bradshaw gets madder every week. It ain't there. I said, well, Bradshaw better get a broom and a dustpan and fucking clean it up because I didn't break it. I ain't cleaning the goddamn thing. So 7 at a Six Flags show, 6, 7 weeks later.
Yes, all 7s and 6s there.
Yeah, he takes my briefcase and climbs up like 3 stories and puts it at the top of a lookout podium at Six Flags. And at 450, nearly 500 pounds that I was weighing then, they know I'm not climbing up there to get that briefcase. I couldn't find my briefcase. I left it unattended, which is the number one rule around a bunch of fucking goofs who like to rib and pull jokes. I should not have left my briefcase unattended. So one of the boys says, well, Kenny's briefcase is like 3 stories up and you have to climb this stationary ladder to get it. I was not thrilled about doing that. So I said, well, all I know is my match is next. My briefcase is 3 stories up. Some motherfucker better get up there and get it or Jimmy's going to lose his mind because the briefcase is needed for the finish. If we don't have that briefcase, somebody's in deep shit. Well, it turned out 7 was the one that put it up there. And Jimmy comes to me. He says, Kenny, he says, Bradshaw, he's over there fucking blowing Bradshaw. He says, I could make 7 go up there and get it and embarrass him in front of the boys. He said, but if you want to get over with Bradshaw, do you think you can climb up there and get it? And I said, I could, but I'm not. I said, I didn't put it up there. Kenny, do me a favor. He says, this is going to get you over with the boys. It's going to get you over with Bradshaw. Climb up there, get that fucking briefcase. And when you get up there, flip 7 the bird and tell him to fucking blow you. I said, that I'll do. And he says, you think you can get up there? I said, yeah. He said, what about getting back down? I said, that part ain't going to be easy. I said, but I can get up there. So I climb up there. I get up. I said, hey, 7, fuck you, bitch. And then I climb back down with the briefcase. Bradshaw comes over and hugs me. He says, you are a bad motherfucker. I wouldn't have climbed up there to get that. Me and you are going to have steak tonight. And I ended up inviting him over to my house and we grilled out steaks, shot basketball, and Bradshaw and I have been friends ever since. And he just did my podcast. I hope you get a chance to watch it. It was a very good show. Bradshaw loved it. wrote me and thanked me for having him on, told me how much fun he had. Eric Bischoff told me the same thing. I had never met Eric Bischoff before. We'd never spoke a word to each other. He says he didn't even know who I was until we did the podcast. He said, that's how little Jimmy means to me. I had no idea you were his best friend. I didn't know that I was walking into a potential ambush. I said, Jimmy and I ain't spoken 4 years. You can bury Jimmy all you want. And he did. He did it. He did it tactfully, but I encourage you to watch the Bradshaw podcast I did and the Bischoff. I think you will enjoy both. They were both very good.